We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Hopefully your day is going well. By the time you hear this, it will be Thursday, but we're also doing a TikTok live. A kind of an attitude today. I've been dealing with fucking Spotify with the shit that I put on there, and they've been an absolute fucking mess to deal with. I'll talk more about that later at some point. But we hope to get a bunch of people on the live here tonight. And we'll be talking to our regular panel folks that come on, and we'll be talking to people in the crowd. So if you want to make a comment, you want to ask a question, just request to be on the live, and we'll get to as many as people as absolutely possible. I've got Rebecca and TJ coming up. They're regulars here, and they are moderators as well. So you Trumplefucks, if you think you want to fuck around, well, you'll find out pretty quickly from these people. I got to tell you, Rebecca and TJ, I'm in a bit of a mood today, so you're going to have to kind of temper me.
Okay. We'll handle it.
So we've been watching all the shit going on today, and it's absolutely fucking silly. I mean, that's the tragic thing about this. Over and above the criminality, the corruption, and the tragedy and the atrocities, it's just fucking embarrassing because of the stupidity. What's the stupidest thing you guys found out?
Oh boy, the list is so long. I think probably the stupidest thing was him talking about Jeffrey Epstein stealing his employees. I mean, that was really unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, and him finally admitting after all this time that woman worked for him, that he has denied for all that time.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that the way he explains all the things he's done and how he said he broke it off with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, he said originally it was because he was a creep. And then he tells us it's because he was stealing his employees. He shouldn't have said that. He should have stuck with, I thought he was a bad guy. I didn't like him. But what he basically said is, the trafficking and all that stuff was fine, but he was stealing employees, that motherfucker.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, he avoided the atrocities that he committed to bring up the fact that he wronged him in a stupid way. I mean, never mind that women got SA'd by two horrible, notorious
underage women,
sex offender or SA offenders. So, never mind all that shit. But Donald Trump was offended that Jeffrey stole his employees. Give me a fucking break.
What struck me, and it exemplifies exactly what I've said. Donald Trump doesn't think about what he says. He just spews shit that he thinks works for him at the moment. They were asking about this Gifford woman who worked for Donald Trump and then went to work at with Jeffrey Epstein. And he said, was that one of the employees he stole from you? And he said, no. And then after about a couple minutes, he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her. And she was 16 or 17 at the time. Donnie, you're fucking killing yourself here. Just shut your goddamn mouth.
Right. Well, he said that she worked in his spa in Mar-a-Lago. That seems really weird to me, that a minor would be working in a spa, where there's, I mean, if you go to a spa, like let's just go with the premise that it's legitimate, okay? If you go to a spa, there's adults there getting a massage, and they may not be wearing clothing. So why would minors be working in a spa?
She could have been a receptionist or something, and she may have just
she could have been.
She was
I don't care if she's a receptionist. There shouldn't be a minor working in a spa, period.
Yeah, it's weird to say the least, and the idea that Donald Trump says I have nothing to do with that is absolutely ridiculous. And even Trumplefucks are at the point now where they're realizing what the fuck's going on here. I'm gonna pull up Will here because I know that motherfucker's on fire. He's always on fire. What's up, Will?
Hey, how you doing, Mike? How's everyone today?
Good.
TJ, Rebecca,
Good.
How's it going? Yeah, it's been another wonderful day in Trumpland. I mean,
Yeah, no shit.
I thought the best thing today, though, was the hearing they had on banning congressmen for having stock trades, and to watch Rick Scott talk about how great a businessman he was.
Yeah.
First, he looks like death, and two, he got busted for running the most biggest Medicare fraud his medical company had ever in Florida history, and they still elected him to governor and Senate. So that, and Josh Hawley said that we're going to get tariff rebates, but only for Trump people who voted for Trump. Okay.
Let me explain how the tariffs work. Donald Trump said something today that just amazed me, and that people just, at least with the Trumplifucks, they don't get. He was talking about how much money he's pulled in because of these tariffs. These tariffs, said he brought in 150 million last month, and it's going to bring in like 250 million next month. So let's understand what that means. He puts the tariffs on, say, China. China has a $100 item. Now it's a $125 item. Okay. So the products come to the United States. The people who sell them here pay more to China. So they have to charge more. So Donald Trump may very well have gained $150 million, but it came from us, the people who bought the shit. Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, that was a tax, not only a tax, but the largest tax that anybody has ever raised in this country. It was about 18%, and we paid for it.
And earlier I saw a story that Ford reported that they lost all their quarter profits because of the tariffs, $29 million down the drain. They lost all their profits because of all the tariffs on steel and the other products that are coming in from overseas.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most of the cars are most Fords are made in the United States, but because they get shit from outside the country, it affects them too. And it costs them, like you say, they made $1.5 billion, and now they lost 29 million. So fuck.
Well, Fords are assembled in the United States. They're not totally made here. But the imports of the parts that are steel, of course, there's tariffs on it. So Ford just got it in the shorts because Donald Trump doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, I feel no sympathy for Ford because just before the election, to get Trump off their back, they dumped all their DEI programs, their employment programs for diversity, thinking that'll get Trump off their back. So you got what you deserve, Ford.
Well, I don't feel any sympathy for Ford, but I do feel sympathy for the people that are loyal to Ford, that want to buy Ford vehicles and now have to pay more money. And it's not just them, of course. See, that's the point. This is the one-time trickle-down works. When Donald Trump fucks at the top, it trickles down to us. Yeah. And we're starting to experience it now. And now he's crowing about all the money he took from us.
Right. And that's sad. And that's sad for me because I only buy Ford vehicles, and I only buy them if they have the UAW sticker in the bottom of the windshield. If it doesn't have that, I ain't buying it. So that's kind of a sad point for me, because I'm supporting people making a living wage, and now Donald Trump is fucking the company that is doing the right thing.
But understand, and I will say this, and TJ, you agreed with me as a retired Teamster. A majority of union people are Trump pumpers.
Yeah.
They are. They're not the brightest bulbs, and now they're paying the price. We warned them, but here we are.
But the sad reality of it is, Will, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, I do. But the sad reality is, once they destroy the UAW, it's never coming back. So even though that's true, we can't allow that to happen.
I mean, look what they do for the down here in the South with Mercedes and the companies that are non-union. They screw those guys. They get paid 1/3 what the UAW workers get paid, with very little benefits.
Except for Volkswagen. Volkswagen actually tries to make sure their plants are union.
Right. Absolutely. I'm going to pull up Trucker T here. He always has some interesting insights. Trucker T, what's happening? What's on your mind?
Oh, thanks, Mike. I was just getting ready to block this stupid fucking Alabama boy, but
Word.
I've got more. I got bigger fish to fry. You know, when I saw your live today, I said, I'm getting on that motherfucker because I am heated.
Good.
Okay, so let's start with the first heatism I have. How in the fuck can you put tariffs on someone and not even know that their product is here? So what I mean by that is this dumb motherfucker says, hey, Japan, maybe I'll lessen the tariffs if you would make some cars here in the United States. Hey, you dumb son of a... Go to Ohio, go to Alabama, and come to fucking Indiana because we've got Honda plants here, okay, first off. Second off, and this is kind of off topic, but I was just on a live, and the guy was playing a video of Nick Fuentes and this stupid fucking dude that wants to have a all-white tea community, right?
I saw that shit.
And he's going to links that he's talking about having lawyers, doctors, everybody, you know, on their payroll and how to get away with it. And if we go to court, it'll only be 15 grand. We can crowd surf for the 15 grand. Or it could be something bigger. And then to my surprise, Nick Fuentes was like, I don't know, man. We like to operate in the shadows. This is too much for me. And I'm thinking to myself, this shit is too much for Nick Fuentes. I don't want to hear one more fucking person tell me that it's okay for them to have their own community. And then the guy was like, well, we kind of agree with what the Patriot Front is doing, and we kind of want to model after that. Well, that says it all. So fuck him.
Hey, T,
Yeah.
when I heard that, the first thing that came out of my mind is that we have those towns here in Georgia.
We got them
They're
here in
called
Indiana.
sundown towns.
Yeah. Fucking Argos, Indiana.
Hey, we got
tell
them
you
in
what,
Pennsylvania too.
You guys hold tight here. I want to bring somebody up here specifically because of the timeliness of it. By the way, you Trump humpers, I got fucking 5 of you while Trucker T was talking. Me, between Rebecca, TJ, Trucker T, and everybody else, you don't have a fucking chance.
Yeah, I got
Anyway,
them.
I want to pull Jules up here because Jules is from Scotland. And I wanted to thank Jules personally for the wonderful welcome that you guys gave to our beloved president. Jules, how you doing?
I am doing so well that he has left my country.
Hey, Jules.
Yeah, but he came back to ours.
Jules, Trucker T, I have a legitimate question for you.
Yes.
And I won't interrupt you ever again. There's a photo out there with Trump
Yep.
sitting. Was that lady, was she really behind him with that sign?
Yes, that was
Oh, I love it.
her name was Janie Godley, and she was a Scottish comedian. And unfortunately, she passed away the year before Trump was elected. And she stood out there in Turnberry in 2022, and she held up that sign. And she's a national hero, actually. So when you see Trump as a CUNT, that is something that Scottish people hold very dear to our hearts. And you probably saw many signs saying Janie Godley was right. Trump is still a CUNT. Yeah.
So is it pretty widely believed the dislike for Donald Trump? Is it pretty much Scotland wide, or are there little factions like we have in this country and in
Yeah.
Canada that people like Trump?
Yeah. Well, every country is going to have a certain percentage.
Idiots.
Yeah, of course. We have the far right. We have people like Nigel Farage. You maybe not have heard. Maybe. Yeah. Right. So he's far right. He's a very good friend of Donald Trump, and unfortunately there is certainly an uptake in England of the Reform Party. It's not quite infiltrated quite yet into Scotland, but it is definitely creeping in, which is quite scary.
I want you to verify something for me if you can, Jules. I heard a story, and probably my favorite story of the week, and kind of endeared me to Scottish folks. I'd heard that on a regular basis, there are people
Yes.
that will go to Donald
Yes.
Trump's golf course
Yes.
and defecate at each of the holes. Please tell me that's true.
Yeah. Well, I've been telling my friends on TikTok for many, many years that we've been doing that. That not me, not me, obviously, because I haven't, I wouldn't.
God.
But it is definitely something that has been noted. So enough for people who own his golf courses to go out and make sure that it hasn't happened. If you get one, right?
So basically in Scotland on his golf courses, you have a job title of shit scout. They got to go out.
I would probably call them jobby finders.
Okay.
Jobby finders.
Gotcha.
If
Well, you know, when I
what
hear more,
if you know what a jobby is,
I'm not sure.
right? So jobby is a shit. So that's a Scottish word for having a poop. So jobby.
Okay.
Lovely.
So you may be, or your title could be, I am now a jobby finder.
See, when you said jobby, I thought that was tied to job like we have in this country. But now that you suggest what it actually means, it makes sense.
You could now be a jobbier.
I could start referring to Donnie as little Donnie Jobby Pants,
And
as opposed to
also,
what I.
you could call him. There are a couple of other words that you could. They're Scottish words. He is a jobby wanker. He's a jobby fanny. He's a fan.
Okay.
Right. So fanny is quite specific Scottish word. You're a fanny.
What's that mean?
Now you need to look it up, but it's not like Americans have like a fanny bag.
Yeah.
But if a Scottish person calls you a fanny, then that's not good.
I'm going to check it right now
Yeah.
because you got me curious, and I'd make you tell us, but I'm afraid
I know what.
I will get banned again. I will
Right.
get banned.
again.
Yeah.
Mike, I will tell you this. There's a video circulating about him on a golf course in Scotland, and there were flies and bees all around him.
They weren't flies. They were the Scottish midgie.
Ew, it's even worse.
Okay, so for those,
Are the Scottish midgets attracted to shit because that's,
Yes. Yes.
so I looked it up. Fanny basically means it's another word for what you suggested earlier.
Yes.
The see you next Tuesday word.
Yes.
So I think that's reasonable. Yeah, he's a fanny.
And you can call anybody a fanny. But see the CUNT word? You can be a good CNT, you can be a bad cunt, you can be a good cunt, you can be an awful cunt, but you can be also a really good cunt. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is the worst fucking cunt to get.
Well, Jules, I want to thank you for coming on. You gave us a lot of insights, and I was curious about Scotland, and I'm glad you were there to tell us.
And can I also just say, hands up and thank goodness for the bagpiper. I'm going to find out who he is, and we're going to give him, I don't know,
an award.
Yeah.
You need to go fund me for his kids' college fund.
We'll start a GoFundMe. Yeah, I mean, since Donald Trump set up a Venmo, so you can help him out with the debt.
Can I just add before I go? I've been following you for many years, and
thank you.
And I've also I also follow American politics for many years, and I really wish, just for the sake of the rest of the world, please next year go on a vote out this fucking Fanny.
I agree with you. I listen to some people from Scotland and I listen to you and I'm thinking, I should probably move to Scotland
You're
because
more
there's
than
more of
welcome.
my people there. I
You
would
are
love to
more
go
than
there.
welcome. You're more than welcome.
And I don't
Anytime.
have any Scottish in me. I don't have any
Doesn't
Scottish
matter.
in me, but I
Doesn't
know I'd love
matter.
these people.
We welcome anybody.
Even an immigrant, an old white immigrant from America? That's good of you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Anybody's welcome in Scotland because we're a loving country.
And decent human beings, which
We try.
we have a limited amount here. Well, Jules, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, and
Thank you
please
very
come
much
back
for having
anytime.
me. Thank you very much.
I love your accent.
Oh, I love you guys. Take care and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
I definitely wanted to talk to somebody from Scotland, and I saw Jules. I wasn't sure if Jules was a male or a female because we have people named Jules here, but it's a young woman, and she gave us some great insights about Donald Trump's recent trip to Scotland, which, thanks to the Scottish people, was an absolute disaster for him, and I owe Scotland a lot for that.
I do have some political news here from Georgia. The Republicans are looking to nominate Mike Collins to run against John Ossoff in the midterms. Mike Collins is the biggest Trump pumper you can see. He represents my district slightly. Anything Trump does, he's something. I believe he was tied to the January 6th tours, but this is, and everyone's in. Some of the people on TikTok, oh my God, they're running him. Okay, he had an announcement luncheon today with all his PowerPoint shit.
Yeah.
And he spelled Georgia on the PowerPoint GoeGria.
Wow.
So
Not even close.
not even.
That's actually closer to giraffe than it is to Georgia.
Yeah. So I was watching, Hawk brought it up and I hadn't known, so I looked it up later. And he was just going on, well, here we go again with Georgia, blah, blah, blah. You guys don't know this state. He may win the outside areas, but Atlanta's not going to put up with him. And I cannot wait for the debate between John Ossoff and Mike Collins. It's going to be a butcher. So I'm not worried about him losing that seat in 2026.
Well, John Ossoff, when you see him talk, he is elite amongst most politicians. He's articulate. He's intelligent. He has some sense when he speaks. Honestly, I think John Ossoff could be a possible prospect for the presidency in 28. He's that good, and he's white, and he's a man. And apparently that's what we need in this country because we have a problem with women of color, clearly.
Right.
And he's Jewish. I don't care,
Well,
but that's another thing. And I don't care about that because I heard him against David Perdue, and I couldn't wait to vote for him. And
he's awesome.
That's what makes him the best.
Yeah, Georgia's got two of the best senators in the country in Ossoff and Warnock, and I really like Ossoff a lot. Now, I don't know if you guys heard this. Kamala Harris, there was some talk about her running for governor in California, and it seemed like a likely move for her, but she announced today that she will not be running for governor. I wonder what that means. Is she looking at the presidency? I can't imagine she'd run for the Senate again once she was already there, but who knows?
I think she's just stepping back. Personally.
She may want to be attorney general.
You know that. Mike, what's your thoughts on this new kid that's been out? I think you talked about him before. Starts with T.
Telerico.
Yeah,
Telerico. Yeah, he's down in Texas. I was talking to Jace and Eric about him today, yesterday, as a matter of fact. He seems like a good, decent kid. He's a very religious kid, and that would normally be a red flag for me. But when I listen to him, because honestly, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, the people I know, the more overtly religious you are and in your face, usually the more despicable the person. That's been my experience.
No, that's accurate.
and Telerico, he's a young kid. He's about 29. My kids are older than he is. He's very smart. He's very articulate. He, bases what he believes in on the Bible and Jesus and all that stuff, except he understands what was said and actually follows what was said as opposed to perverting or polluting the word. I think he's a good kid. And I like the fact that he's in Texas because people are probably confused. We got to own the libtards, but I like that kid. I like that kid. So maybe it will help to turn Texas blue. I don't know. I mean, he's basically a state rep. I don't see him running for, some people say he should run for president. He's not running for president, too young. He's working in the state of Texas. He could run for representatives, a House of Representatives person, or, I suppose he could run for the Senate. I think he's still a little too young. He's kind of like Jasmine Crockett. He's got to get his feet wet a little bit more and build an audience, but he's been kind of on fire lately.
So you want to talk about that? How they fucked over Jasmine Crockett? That's another reason why I'm fired up today, right? When they redrew the map, she's not even in the district now with her fucking constituents. How is that even possible?
Is her position changed or gone?
No, her position didn't change. They just changed the map. So she's not even in a district anymore where her constituents are. So they're putting together a plan right now to fight that back, take it to court, whatever they got to do. This is insane.
Well, let me say this. If they do this, it is desperation. But if they do this, is there more of a likelihood that Jasmine will then run for a Senate seat?
Well, she had a video that came out right before I got on your live, and she says, I can't be on here long, but I will tell you that what happened is a bunch of bullshit, and we're working on ways to get it fixed. So then, what's the Illinois Prisker? He came out and says, hey,
right.
It's fight or flight, basically. We're going to do whatever we can to get, additional Democrat seats. Newsom, of course, he said the same thing. So I think we'll be okay with the seats. I just don't like the way that they did that. How can she represent a community that she's not even part of anymore?
Yeah, I will say this, though. The doom and gloom that I hear from everyone about this, what we need to do is that we knew they were going to do it. Yeah. What we need to do is for the Democrats to do the one thing they'd never do is actually find candidates and run them in those districts, because they're going to run on Trump shit. And Trump is a failing president. And let me put in an example. The reason Marjorie Taylor Greene is now a congresswoman is that she ran unopposed because the Democrats didn't want to bother. Guess what? We need to bother. We need to make them work for it. They think they're going to get it. But if we work for it and we put money behind that, we can at least maybe take 2 seats or something like that. Right. I know Jasmine got screwed. That was wrong. But now we have to deal in their reality and not give up. Because I keep hearing everyone going, oh, it's over. Bullshit. We go in there and fight for those seats.
Exactly.
That's what we should do. Not give up. I'm tired of this give up bullshit.
Hey, Will, I saw a video yesterday where a lady says, I want to make this video for it to get to AOC. And she says, I doubt if she'll see this, but I want her to know that I'm in Alabama and her name is on a lot of license plates down here. AOC, like bumper stickers and all that. So if she's reaching to Alabama, I think, the tide is changing.
Well, that's the party. That's one of the.
But the party has to support someone, because these people at the parties, the Democratic Party, just give it up because they don't want to spend the money. It's stupid. That's why we're at where we're at.
Well, and we had Booker come out and basically yell at the Democrats for exactly what you're saying: being weak, bending, just playing the game. And, Booker is probably looking to a possibility of running for president too. And I don't know about him. He kind of goes one way, then he goes the other way, and he does some things that I'm not sure about. But we do need a fighter. There's no question about that. Gavin Newsom, maybe Booker, maybe Ossoff, whoever knows. But we've got to change the tone of this party. We've got to be warriors now as opposed to just the elite, well-behaved Democratic Party. I think I've said it for 5 years, but hopefully they've now got it. That doesn't work. You can't fight a bully, a cheater, by playing by the rules. You got to be just as aggressive, just as assertive, and just as vicious as they are. And I'm hoping they're finally seeing that now.
I'm going to use an example. People will think I'm crazy. There's a Batman comic that Frank Miller did years ago with an older Batman. And he couldn't fight this guy on his terms because he was too slow. What he did, he got this guy into a mud pit and just said, now we're equal. Now we're going to fight on my terms in the mud where everyone's slow. Right. And that's the thing. Right. Enough with this. We are the good guys. No, I don't want to be good anymore. I just want to be mean and get back what I want. Because I'm tired of this. We have to be nice to, screw it. Game over. Because they've done this for years to us. Now we get into the mud and show them, and everyone's equal in the dirt at this point.
Well, yeah, and you know the thing about it is we've got to take the attitude the Republicans have. I don't think they go out specifically to be dirty. It's not about being clean or dirty with them. It's about winning, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's where the Democrats have to be. At this point, we're in a precarious position in this country. And we can't worry about perception or anything like that. We just got to fucking win. And we've got to win at all costs, regardless of who suffers for it. This is about this country. This is about democracy. We got to win. If that means we've got to be tough and we've got to be vicious and we've got to do this stuff, then so be it.
The only rule is to win. Period. Yeah. Bottom line.
There ain't no rules in a street fight. I'm going to pull somebody up here. Hopefully this is a good choice. The person's name is Crazy Demon. So there might be a flag or two there. But Crazy Demon, how you doing? What's on your mind?
I am a longtime listener of you, a longtime supporter of you. I love your platform. And I cannot stand
Thank you very
Trump.
Much.
I cannot stand Trump. You know what? Here, wait. I want to show you one thing, because this is exactly how I feel about that fat motherfucker. And I hope that I don't get you in trouble, but this is how I feel about him. God damn it! My camera's screwing with me right now. I got to turn the around.
We saw it.
There you go. There you go. That day, one day that will be a national holiday. Now the reason I came up. The reason I requested up, besides being a longtime supporter of yours, is Ohio is no different with the gerrymandering. I mean, it is nonstop, and they're redistricting every single district in the state of Ohio, so the Republicans have the majority, and it's ridiculous. And if the Democrats don't get off their asses and put up a fight about this, it's going to continue. Ohio should have been blue in 16, 20, and 24, and it hasn't been.
Yeah. You know, when you talk about gerrymandering and you talk about the fiddling with the stuff through social media and suppressing votes, maybe even messing with machines, do you ever think to the point, what's the point of fucking having elections anyway? Everybody's trying to do what they do to cheat. I put this out there before, and I'm becoming more and more feeling like this is a good idea. I think we get a stadium, we take all the politicians, and we have a fucking Hunger Games. And whoever survives, they go. I'd like to see Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley last in that shit.
Can we bet like they do in the Squid Games? Because I want the lion mask.
I would love to see a horse. Yeah, I would like to see a horse joust.
I apologize. I've never watched the Squid Games, but I have seen the Hunger Games, so I'm completely on board with that. But But again, we all know, well, we all suspect that Trump had a lot of help in getting back in office in 24. There's no doubt about it. And he's admitted to it 3 times. Elon's admitted to it at least twice. So the point of it is that how do we go about trying to change it?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, first of all, in order to change anything, and it's kind of a contradiction here, you got to get power in the House and the Senate. Now, the only thing we can do to fight against gerrymandering, and it's hard, is to get crazy amounts of people to vote, because even gerrymandering doesn't beat that. If we get this literal tsunami of voting, we thought there would be a tsunami in 2024 on November 5th, and there wasn't. It was pretty much like we saw the last time, except the outcome was different. We've got to get people scared enough, upset enough, mad enough to get their fat asses off the couches and actually fucking vote. And the good news is it depends on us, but the bad news, it depends on us.
Right.
We haven't been very dependable as of late.
No, we haven't. And a lot of the blame falls on us older Democrats, people in their 50s and above. Kids that are like my kids' age, in their early 20s to mid 20s, are uninspired right now to vote Democrat, and we need to change that.
Yeah,
But my question remains: is how do we change that? I mean, we don't have a Democrat like a face of the Democratic Party to just like run out there like we did in the '90s with Bill Clinton.
Yeah. I think the idea of voting, I'm just going to vote Republican no matter who it is, or Democrat, whoever it is, I think that's becoming antiquated. I think we need to take a page and don't laugh at me. Just listen to what I'm saying. We got to take a page from the WWE. And I don't mean to say that extreme, but we've got to build personalities and brand in the people. We've got, that's what Donald Trump has. People love Donald Trump because he's Donald Trump. So we need people to love Jasmine Crockett because she's Jasmine Crockett. The party affiliation is just an afterthought. The parties have proved to be very similar or similarly bad. Republicans are worse now, of course, but we need to build brands in the candidates. We need to be have people bought into the candidates, much like they did with Donald Trump.
Part of it is that when those people do make a brand like Crockett, like AOC, the old guard in the Democratic Party steps on them because they fear them. That is part of our problem. But as I told you, Mike, on your podcast, is that we solved that problem by primarying all those old folks in the first round of voting. Because at that point, the DNC has to acknowledge it. Because that's the only way we have to change it. I'm not depending on the DNC leadership to change it. We have to change it to where they have to change to us. To answer your question, sir, it's us. I'm not depending on there. There ain't no Superman coming. There ain't no Batman coming. We're the ones that got to solve this.
No, and I agree. And I apologize. My first name is Mike, so if you guys want to call me by my first name, it's fine. I had to do this for TikTok purposes. But with that being said, I am a strong proponent of getting a very strong face in the Democratic Party, whether it be Gavin Newsom, whether it be Beshear out of Kentucky, whether it be Shapiro out of Pennsylvania, or the guy out of Illinois. As long as we have somebody that we can back and somebody we can believe in. That's the problem, is we haven't been able to believe in it. And anytime we run a woman out there, whether it be Hillary or whether it be Kamala or anybody else, they, like you said, they get squashed. And this country is not ready for a female president, which I think is absolute bullshit. We are more than ready for a female president.
Hey, Crazy Mike, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I only called you Crazy Mike because the other guy is Mike, and I want to make sure you knew I was talking to.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Mike.
So
nice to meet you.
So we've discussed this before in a few lives, and Boomer had a great point. If we put somebody out there too early, that gives them all the time in the world to discredit that person and with all the dirt and then it gets old. So we have to find a happy medium when we bring that candidate out. I do understand what you're saying, though. We need a face, we need a change, but we also have to be deliberate in the way that we do that so they don't get discredited. They don't have all this baggage and then we're stuck with nobody at the end.
But if you think about it, Trump has been campaigning the entire 4 years that he was not in office. It was
absolutely.
It was a nonstop campaign. So that's why he garnered a lot of the I love the uneducated people because they're going to vote for me type of people.
But that's an anomaly, though. That's an anomaly because Trump is a brand, right? And he was president before, and he's got his base. So he could do this for the next 20 years. He will still have the same followers. They're going to follow him regardless. But we don't have that brand, right? And the brand that we do have, we don't want to turn shit before we can polish it.
But we can create that brand, though. We can create that brand. We're kind of doing it with AOC. We're kind of doing it with Jasmine Crockett. We need to get behind that and promote the shit out of it. And, you know, we're not dealing with people in this country who vote that are politically savvy. They're fucking not. They like the popular one or the cool one or the one that's going to make them look cool for voting for them. That's why we need to get, as social media people, get behind some of these people, whether it be Tallarico in Texas or Jasmine Crockett or AOC or Ossoff, and we've got to kind of turn them into their own brands if they can't do it themselves. But the thing about it is, I don't want,
part of me, the hardest thing for me on that is that I want someone's going to fight for me, but I got to remember, see the difference. As one person said, talking about the Epstein files, if they find Democrats, what are you guys going to do? I don't care because I don't have a Bill Clinton T-shirt, hat, and all that. And that bothers me to an extent because I get what you're saying, Mike, but man, they're still just politicians in the end. Then we end up doing the same thing with a Democratic view.
But your argument is this. That's not the right way to do it. My argument is we got to do whatever we got to do. That's the way the Republicans did it. And if that's what it takes to win, we've got to take that extra step, even if it isn't, you know, in terms of being a Democrat or being a good person. Fuck that. Let's turn Jasmine Crockett into the Macho Man Randy fucking Savage, and people will love her and they'll vote for her just because they think she's cool.
Right. I'm
okay
with
the right thing.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that is okay.
Yeah, I get you.
But as far as naming somebody like right now, I don't want to do that.
Oh, God, we got to win the midterms first.
Right. We got to win the midterms first. But I think, you know, the fucked up thing is people hate the Republicans, but they also hate the Democrats. So what's that leave? That only leaves personalities right now. Right. And we know the Republicans are so fucking old and some of the Democrats are so old, they don't even cast a shadow anymore, let alone have a fucking personality. So
if we could find somebody that the Democrats would actually believe and that the Democrats could actually trust, like Bill Clinton back in the 90s, we would be a shoo-in. But the thing of it is that we cannot send her, and we cannot stand her with our thumb up our ass for the next year and a half, waiting until the midterms. We got to start acting now.
What we need to do is get some of the young people together, you know, kind of like what we saw with the Squad, except on a bigger level, or with AOC and Bernie Sanders. Right. We need to get them to come together and get out there and start whipping shit up. There are some people out there that are kind of immune from getting shit from Donald Trump or the Republicans. You don't see them attacking Jasmine Crockett very often because they know they're going to get it back. So if you've got some of those people creating kind of a stir around the Democratic Party, or at least in their group, we can gain some attention. Honest to God, this is they say elections aren't a popularity contest. Fuck, it ain't. That's exactly what it is.
And it just hit me crazy. Mike you were talking about that, Mike. In a moment, just for a couple of minutes, I started to rethink the Clinton campaign, the saxophone, the Phil Donahue show.
Right.
All that stuff was different. And I remember one time he was on Donahue, and Donahue was going after him, but the people in the audience defended him. like they do
but the
Trump.
but the people in the audience went after Donnie. I remember that episode like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm thinking what you're thinking. Clinton won the presidency like Trump won the presidency because the old guard hated Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And they wanted change. They wanted somebody different. They got tired of the Ronald Reagans and the George Bushes. They wanted a fresh new face. That's why Bill Clinton won.
Well, the hint should have been taken the first time Donald Trump won the presidency. It was very clear why Donald Trump won. Nobody knew what to expect. Nobody knew really who he was or what he would do. But that election told us they were fucking sick and tired of establishment politics. They were so sick and tired that they said, I'll take a flyer on this guy. How bad could it be? Well, we fucked up twice. But people, we're in a different world than in the 70s, 80s, 90s, when I'm going to tell you my policies and you're going to love them and you're going to vote for them. No, at this point, AOC needs to go on TikTok, lip sync some R&B song and show a meme of fucking Donald Trump shitting his pants. Honestly, that's a little aggressive, but that's what I'm saying. That's how you appeal to these people.
But that's what we need to do. It is stuff exactly like that. Michelle Obama kind of kicked the Democrats right in the balls when she said, well, when the Republicans go low, we got to go high. Fuck that. We got to go lower.
I feel like, a good example of this, my granddaughter, she's on YouTube on my phone all the time, and people are going nuts because she watches this for 3 seconds and that for 5 seconds and this for 3 seconds. And my wife and my daughter-in-law said, we got to get her to watch longer stuff because she's going to be constantly going back and forth on stuff. So one day I said, you know what I would do? I'm going to pick out one of the old cartoons that I liked. And they're about 15, 20 minutes. She'll have to sit and watch it. She'll fucking love that shit. So I said, honey, take a look at this cartoon. This is what Grandpa and Grandma used to watch when we were little. And I pulled up Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy. Thought it was a cool one.
That's my dad. That was my dad's favorite cartoon ever.
She had my phone for 10 seconds and she goes, Grandpa, this is boring. And that's what young people are saying about the Democrats. They're fucking boring. So it's better to not be boring, whatever that means.
And I agree with your granddaughter 1,001%. I mean,
it's fucking boring.
I mean, I'm in my mid-50s. I'll be 56 in October if I make it that long.
Yeah.
Like my old man used to say, I'm still breathing, one day at a time. But and you would probably know my dad being an old DJ that you were. But with that being said, we need to wipe the slate clean. We need to put a fresh face out there, like an AOC, like a Jasmine Crockett, like anybody in their mid-30s that has a good-looking face, that has a believable voice, that we can march out there and stand behind and say, "This is our person," regardless. We're gonna die in a cell with this person.
But we have someone right now running in New York like that, in Montani.
Yeah. Sure
and
do.
What does the Democratic establishment do? Try to stab him in the back by leaving Cuomo out there, not supporting him. The problem is someone like Montani scares the shit out of Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi. They don't like him.
Yeah, well,
and I'm not talking about his color. They just don't like him.
Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer need to freaking go.
I was just going to say, 2 out of the 3 people you just mentioned are 80 years or older.
Well, maybe what we need to do is this. Now, I know I'm going to get some heat about this, but I've been married for 42 years. I've been in the heat for fucking every day of my life.
Right.
But I've often said with what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump and MAGA, we could almost stand back and let them kill themselves. Let them implode. Right. Yeah, because we can kind of throw some kindling on every so often, but they're going to do it to themselves. Maybe we need to go after these older people that are holding us back. Maybe we need to do some things about Pelosi or Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, a young guy, he has all the potential in the world, but he's so fucking roped into the old establishment, it's going to kill his career. And I can't believe he doesn't see that. But but maybe we need to focus our attention on pushing those old people out by primarying people and building up some of these people that are competing with them, so that we can change the Democratic Party.
I don't think Pelosi's going to get past her primary in San Francisco.
I hope not.
She ain't going to get a press. And Chucky Schumer is up for re-election. He ain't going to make it out of his primary.
I don't think so either. So that's two. But those are potential seats that could turn Republican as well.
I don't see that in New York.
Yeah, Mike, you're exactly correct on that. Because today I saw a video where Chuck Grassley was upset that Trump mentioned him in one of his tweets or whatever over the night. And he says that it was disheartening, blah, blah, blah. And 2 videos later, they were saying it's time for Chuck to go. He's too old. He shouldn't be in his seat. We got to retire this dog. So they're one step ahead of us every step.
You know what they need to do? Like, we all talk about they need age limits, but you know what? They need to, what they're going to do if they set age limits is they're going to like set some ridiculous retirement fund amount that you get like a ridiculous amount of money when you retire when you age out. And that's the only way that's going to work, because they're not going to vote themselves out.
Oh, great. We got to pay them off.
Unless they get a ridiculous amount of money when they retire.
You know what I think we should do too is, they were talking about when people come into this country, they have to take a test to suggest whether or not they're worthy of becoming an American by knowing American culture and stuff. I think we should, if we can't get term limits and if we can't get age limits, we should make a requirement that everybody who's elected to office, before they enter office, they have to be able to pass a comprehensive test on the Constitution. So there's no question in our minds that they know what the fuck they're talking about. And then if they go against it, we know that they're fucking criminals because they know better. We got to do something. If you want to run for the House of Representatives, any idiot can do it, as is proven by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Any fucking if I lived in that district, I'd run against her just to make fun of her.
Right.
Not expecting to win.
How about Lauren
Boebert too? Yeah, I'm sorry, Rebecca. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rebecca. I stole your thunder. I didn't mean to. Go ahead, Rebecca. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
Because we were on the same page.
Yeah, it's pretty appalling. Well, Crazy Mike, I want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to try to get a bunch more people on.
I got you. I thank you very much for bringing me up here tonight. It was a pleasure to talk to you and everybody in your panel. Let me follow everybody before you drop me out of here. There's that.
Thanks, Mike.
And while I'm thinking while I was thinking about it, you remember a song called "Time Will Let Me" from the Outsiders?
Yep. Time won't let me. Yeah.
My father wrote that song.
That's old school.
Your father wrote that song.
My dad was Tom King of the Outsiders.
Wow.
And I'll take it a step further. He was also Tom King in the Starflyers. He wrote the original song for Ghoulardi from the Ghoulardi show. It was called "Stronger Than Dirt."
Wow.
Nice.
I'll leave you with that to feast on.
I appreciate that. We've got greatness in our midst. I remember "Time Won't Let Me." I remember that song. That was a good one. I'm going to pull up somebody we know, Jay of the Canadian Path, much like Will.
Oh my goodness, Jay's been dying to get up. He's
generally fired up. What's up? What's up, Jay?
Man, I mean, first of all, the troublemakers in the house. So, for those of you that have elderly squeamish nannies, maybe leave the room. Everyone else, fuck it, let's go.
You're not happy?
No, I'm not. Not only because, I haven't been happy since last November. Not truly happy anyway. But I wanted to get up here to, share my, it's almost like a National Geographic of the Trumplafuck species. Because they're their whole own species. Like they're barely human, if that. And so I almost have to treat them with like a National Geographic view of things. And so I was out walking to celebrate the end of my summer semester, because I did take a quick summer semester. I did some summer classes, and I went out to go treat myself. And I'm not a metalhead, but I do like some of that style of song. So I was listening to Enter Sandman by Metallica. Do you remember that? Everybody listen to that song?
Yes.
It's a good song. And yeah, so I got my wireless headphones, and I'm just, I don't blast my music. I just listen to it. And I'm walking along, and this old biddy style, MAGA soccer mom, I guess. I'm standing at the corner of the intersection, just vibing to this song, and all of a sudden, this lady, she didn't tap me on the shoulder, but she says like, "Hey, you shouldn't listen to that." And then cue all classic, satanic panic. Rock music is evil and it's satanic and it'll turn you into a muffin and this and that and the other thing. And so I just get sick of this. I take one headphone off and I go, "Okay, what kind of music do you listen to?" And I kid you not, this lady said this, and I had to hold it in. It was so tempting to just die laughing right there. She said, "My kids listen to Aqua. You should too."
Aqua?
Now, hey Jay.
Yeah.
Hey Jay.
What the hell is that?
You know what
Aqua, like Barbie girl?
That one. Okay.
Jay,
Now,
you know what
Will,
I do?
you're gonna. I wanted to say this. Sorry, go ahead, TJ, real quick.
You know what I do? I'm sorry to interrupt you. But you know what I do when people do shit like that to me? I look at them with really wide eyes and I say, "All hail Satan," and they run away.
That's pretty funny.
Exactly.
But Will, there was an episode where you were on of the podcast where you talked about how the Canterbury Tales are basically porno in Middle English form.
Oh, hell yes.
Aqua is that in Eurodance music form.
And yes, they are.
Have you heard some of their other songs? Oh my God. I mean, I'm just going to say this right now. Bumblebees is not about a bee and a flower singing to each other.
It's certainly not.
and the song about the Candy Man is not about candy. I'm just going to say that.
Well, it is kind of, but not that kind of.
And so all I'm going to say about it is, to this lady, is you have some nerve getting on my case about listening to a song that's more innocent than all of that. It's just a guy tucking his kid in for bed, when you have your family listen to a song that, I mean the bee literally says "wham bam thank you man" in the damn song. Like, they're not subtle about it.
Yeah, my wife and I have a friend, wonderful lady. She's a little younger than us, but old people shouldn't try to relate to new music at all. I don't know the song really, but I've heard of the song, and she misinterpreted the song. She happened to be on a beach someplace down south, and she thought it would be clever to take a picture and send to her son, because she had a cupcake or something, and she said, "Hey, look, I'm having cake by the ocean."
That's a good one.
What that mean, bitch?
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
I know that song.
She had no clue. I would have had no clue. I mean, I'm not.
That's like the religious choirs all singing like a prayer.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
I don't care how many times that video pops up on my feed. I will watch the whole thing through every time and almost pee my pants every time.
Yeah, I just find it hilarious. I mean, you get why this lady has her family listen to Aqua, because she's not smart and it sounds all innocent and whatever. But all I'm going to say is, don't get on my case for listening to a song that's literally just about a guy tucking his kid into bed. Like I said, like that. The songs are fundamental opposites. One sounds really like dark and menacing, but is actually like totally innocent, like it is. And the other one sounds all light and fluffy and happy, And it's not a bad song. Like I've heard it. It's not a bad song, but you shouldn't be playing that stuff for kids. And I know that because my mom made that mistake. Like we used to listen to that all the people what to listen to. We never knew what it meant. We never got it.
Jay,
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have been listening to Hell's Bells. So.
That's true.
Or Mary Jane by Rick James.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good pull.
When I was a young man, I worked at a country radio station, and I played country, but it was in a small town, and also on the station, they played polka. Fucking polka. We're going to have a 6 Fat Dutchman weekend. It's going to be fucking crazy. And
you can't talk to Pennsylvanians about polka here now.
Well, so. That's my point. I'm a young guy. I'm going, you listen to polka. You don't shame people about polka. You don't shame people about heavy metal. You don't shame people about gospel. You mind your fucking business and listen to what you want to listen to and let people listen to what they want to listen to.
Oh. 2 words. Lawrence Welk.
Ooh. And to the person in chat who hasn't heard Barbie Girl, please go listen to it.
Yeah,
that one's more just on the nose. That one's weird as it is. It's not. It doesn't rely on innuendo. It's not sweet. It's not dirty trying to pass itself off as sweet like Bumblebees or Candyman.
I shouldn't say this, but I actually own Barbie Girl on vinyl.
That's not it's not nothing to be it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's actually, like I said, it's not a bad song. It's just it's just you gotta know gotta know your audience.
Yeah,
I have no idea what I just said.
But then again, I also own Master of Puppets on vinyl. So
yeah,
that's not.
I'm gonna pull somebody else up here. This woman, I think, changes her name so much, I don't even know who the fuck it is. What the fuck is JoJo? Hey, JoJo, or whatever we're calling you. Are you there?
No, JoJo.
Wow, I would have thought she would have been there. All right. Let's see who else we got out here. I got a couple of people that I'm reluctant on. Because I know where this will go.
Yeah, because British John's out there.
British John's out there. He was trolling Jay already.
Yeah,
great.
I was messing with JD earlier.
JD Farmer just said, "So do you guys talk about politics?"
I'm gonna shut up about the music now.
I was fucking with JD on his Facebook page today because he put some post on about how he had fresh eggs and they were available or whatever. And so I commented on the post and I said, sure, I'll come down and buy some. I said, it'll pair well with all the dogs and cats I'm eating.
Wow. That's awesome.
So,
okay. I got somebody up who I know will show up and
you want some fava beans and a nice Chianti to go with that?
Yeah. All right, we've got C Temptation up. What's up, C? I'll shut up because it'll be a while.
Building. Hello, Mike, TJ,
Hey,
Rebecca,
how you doing?
TJ, and everybody in the panel. I mean, on the chat. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, C.
We're doing good.
Welcome,
We're doing
C.
good.
Yeah.
What's pissing you off?
Huh?
What's pissing you off tonight?
I'm not pissed. I feel okay. I'm just sitting back chilling.
Oh, wow. Because I'm pissed.
That officially makes you more chill than half the panel.
I mean,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
one thing is, why get pissed off at the government? I mean, because like you said a while back in one of your videos, Mike, you just do whatever you can, and then whatever you don't have any control over, fuck it.
Well, that's something I did say. I said you get
did
to the
say
point
that. I
where
remember.
everybody.
I watched the video, and I was like, he made a good point.
Well, with everything that's going wrong, everybody goes, "Oh, what can we do to stop that? What can we do to stop?" We can't do anything.
Exactly.
So the better just to focus on what we can do and let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully there'll be enough to clean up when it's over. It's unfortunate to say that, but that's the fucking fact.
Yeah, that's the business. I mean, and that's the reality. I mean, the only thing we could do is keep in contact with our local officials, keep everything up in prayer, and then whatever else we don't have any control over, just say fuck it.
What do you think about the Epstein thing? Do you think the Republicans and the Trump-a-fucks and Donald Trump with his silly ass, do you think they're going to implode themselves?
Wait a minute, Mike. I just did a video about that today. Did you hear that what's his name? Gary Schumer? They came up with a new law though where they could have set 5 people to sign a letter, and then after that, then they could be able to go to the DOJ or the FBI to release those files. I was like, oh, it's about to be on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. There is a Freedom of Information Act law that they were talking about today,
Right.
where 5 members of a committee
Right.
can sign it,
Right.
and they have to release the information.
Right.
That would be interesting.
Oh wow! Now when I read that story, I was
catch
like,
up for me.
damn, it's gonna be on, boy. If
Yeah, but are
release
they going to
those
give us the
files,
real shit
Trump
though?
is done.
Well, that's it. That's it. Are they going to give us the real shit? Are they going to play games? I mean, we've seen them play games. We've seen them play games with prosecutors that they want to put in or
Yeah.
judges that they want to put in. I've said this before, and people will probably disagree with me. I hope those files don't get released before the 2026 election, because it gets worse for Donald Trump the longer it doesn't get released. I'm afraid if it gets released and everything blows up, that's fine, but then people will forget about it and go on to the other thing. I want to build the anger and the anticipation and the desire to get these files as much as we can and get as much out of it as possible.
But you know something, Mike? I mean, because the MAGA people, they're already pissed off about the situation. They like, well,
Yeah.
what the hell are they? What the hell is the problem? Why are they holding back in the files? You know, I mean, right now
Right.
at this point, it's like, what's more important in terms of, is it about protecting the power, or is it all about transparency and exposing the truth? And I did a video on that too as well.
What do you guys think about, one of the things where Donald Trump and the Republicans are losing are in those bro podcasters, the likes of Joe Rogan and some of the other guys out there that got on board Donald Trump's bandwagon because they thought it would be good for views and followers and stuff. And now that he's pretty much spit in the face of those followers, including those podcasters, now they're a little pissed. They weren't as deeply invested in Donald Trump as some of the really dumb motherfuckers are. And now they're kind of turning against him. How much impact do you think that has on just public opinion? Because they're dealing with younger people and they're more cultural type thing than a policy thing.
Well, I could speak to that, Mike, because
Sure.
I saw one today, and I use this guy specifically. He was upset. His thing was, hey, listen, I lost my family, I lost my business, I lost my friends, all because I supported you. He says, I voted for you 3 times. I have been a staunch supporter. And each time you have not held up to your bargain. And I accepted that. He said,
What
but now, well, the bargain of, his promises. Mexico is going to build a wall, blah, blah, blah. All of that bullshit, right?
Right.
They overlooked that. But this time they're saying, hey, you campaigned on that the Democrats were in that file. It was all the Democrats. You were going to drain the swamp, blah, blah, blah. You didn't do it, and you keep pushing this date back. You keep hiding it. You keep hiding it. I cannot support that. Trump's thing is, hey, we're going to let this shit blow over till September when we call recess back, and hopefully they forgot about the files. But everybody, for some dumb reason, is holding their hat. They're drawing a line in the sand over these files because that's what he campaigned on.
Well, and Donald Trump keeps talking too. That's the problem. First he says, I kicked him out because he's a creep. And then he said, I kicked him out because he was stealing employees. And the timelines don't work. I mean, every time he opens his mouth, he says the wrong thing. And people are saying, he could be lying,
He
we know
is
he's lying, but the dumb fucks are starting to get it.
No, that he is lying because that ain't nothing but a trick. He's saying all these things to distract the people off the Epstein files because we know that fucker's all up in them files. We already know what the deal is.
Yeah.
And he also, every time he says that, he ends it by saying, and this is out there already. This is out there already. Yeah, this has already been spoken about. This has already been spoken about. Like the young girl that they coerced him into admitting that she worked for him. He's like, well, yeah. He's like, I didn't really know her, but yeah, she worked in the spa. And Jeffrey took her. But that was already known knowledge. That was already out there. He always says that. But that doesn't make the fact of what he did any less. You know what I mean? He just, and I said this to my wife the other day. I'm like, why don't they shut that fucker up? You know what I mean? Because he just keeps talking and keeps talking.
Well, they try.
Like if they shut him up, he'd die.
Well, yeah. I mean, Donald Trump, they try to shut him up. I mean, every time he opens his mouth, he creates another fire to put out for the people around him. And these people aren't very competent in the first place. This is why it's just turning into a shit show. Pam Bondi is getting all kinds of heat, even though
about her.
nobody's seen her. Nobody's seen her for a week because she can't take it. Kash Patel is hiding underneath J.D. Vance's couch. Nobody's seen that motherfucker. We're hearing about Pete Hegseth, and it sounds like he's on the edge of being pushed out. His own people are saying, get rid of this motherfucker. There's a lot of turmoil going on in this cabinet.
All right. Can I just say something really quick? Hiding under J.D. Vance's couch has got to be like being in the bottom bunk while your roommate has a girl in the top one, all right?
Oh, hell no.
Or he's a bedwetter. But, I tried to slip that one in there. I didn't know if anybody would notice.
Well, don't forget about Dan Bongino saying that he's seen some things that he will never be the same again, right? So I don't know what the hell that's all about. He's saying
he wasn't so great in the first place, so that might be a positive thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you, gentlemen, a question, and to Rebecca also. Do you think that the members of his cabinet is eventually going to end up leaving or resigning because they can't take this pressure as far as what Trump is concerned anymore?
I think you're going to get a lot of people resigning because not only the pressure, but they see the end game and it's a failure. And they don't want to be attached to it.
And get indicted by the next presidency.
Well, that's distinctly possible. I mean, a lot of these people have committed crimes. I mean, look at Pete Hegseth with the Signal Gate thing, and the thing about it is if he'd been a private or a sergeant, he'd be in jail already. So he's in a position where he could be implicated.
Well,
guess what, Mike?
There's so many of them that should be indicted that it's not even funny.
Right.
Pam Bondi should be in jail. That damn Elon Musk, he need to be locked up because he already done violated 30 laws. Those boys gonna get him. Watch.
Yeah.
So you've got Pete Hegseth now. He's denying this, but whenever they deny it, it's always true. That he's ready to resign and run for governor of Tennessee.
Governor of what?
His home state. I think it's Tennessee. Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, he spent some time. He spent some time in Minnesota, though, too. He's from Minnesota. He was born here.
Well, they said Tennessee.
Come here, Pete.
Yeah, they said Tennessee. So.
Yeah, he ain't going to run in a blue state. I mean, he's going to be laughed at in a red state. But because after he's out and pisses off Donald Trump will destroy him like he destroys everybody that ever worked for him.
Well, if the midterms flip the House and the Senate, or at least the House and the committees change, those punks from Doge are definitely going to get pulled in and investigated and probably indicted.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to pull up Eric here. Eric, the analytical Iowan. He was on the show with Jace with me today. I didn't think Eric was going to be around today. Well, yeah, you did say you might come in after you got off. So, Eric, what's up? What are you thinking about?
Haven't had a whole lot of time to check the news today, but Jesus,
he's looking for his pants.
Like I missed a bunch.
Jay, I'm going to write you some new material. The pants thing is getting old.
I didn't start that. I did. It was TJ. I'm just. It's our running gag.
Good jokes.
I said I was the first one to make that stupid old joke. And frankly, at the time, it was clever and hilarious. But then you guys just kind of pounded in the ground. You're ruining my joke here.
No, it's like those old 80s sitcoms. It wouldn't be that without the catchphrase, you know?
Yeah.
Or that one foible that every character has.
We'll see if TikTok has a add-on and with a laugh track. That might be helpful.
The way that story goes is that Mike made a joke about the pants. I said that when TJ was during COVID, TJ wore like shorts. He wasn't wearing like pants with his suit jacket during his Zoom meetings. And then somehow Eric got involved, and somehow it all got turned on Eric, as Eric does not wear pants when he's on the videos. I don't know how that like turned into that.
No idea, but that was just typical. I get roped into the middle of a joke somewhere, like, what just happened?
And Eric, I will just say this: whether you are wearing pants or sans pants, it's fine. Just be you.
I know that's right.
Now, what were you thinking, Eric, about what you have been able to catch up on? I know you've been working, but
I haven't seen a lot.
know you're always
but
watching.
I did see Kamala Harris came out and said she's not running for governor
Right.
for California. And I've been thinking about that ever since I saw that article. I'm going to record a video for it here in a little bit. But I think she's using the midterms as a test for her ability to run for a nationwide office again, to run for president or maybe Senate or something. Because she says she's going to be helping get other Democrats elected. And I think she's going to see what the social media comments are talking about, people like us, what we're saying about her helping wherever she is, how the media's handling her. And then she's going to probably be looking at the results of those races. If she helps flip a red district somewhere, that Democrats haven't held in 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus years, whatever, maybe that starts leaning her toward making a run for it. But if Democrats still win, but they win by lower margins with her help, maybe she's like, wait a minute, this is looking bad for me. And she sits out the 28 election.
Well, that may not be a bad idea. Trying to get the temperature of the room, as it were. You just come off this election and you lose. And frankly, it's tougher to come back after you've lost. So maybe she does need some time to recuperate, maybe get involved in some elections, see how that works out. And then it might be give her some indication of what she can do the next time around, because Kamala is a very valuable politician, much like Stacey Abrams down in Georgia. She's not in elected office. That's a tragedy. Katie Porter. We need to get these people back into things because they're very valuable in the Democratic Party. So she's probably looking at discretion, the better part of valor, and just laying back and trying to see how things play out. We're in a fucking mess right now. She was in a mess for 90 days running against Donald Trump. Probably better to step back and see what happens. I think that's a good point.
And can I add on that, Mike, that to be honest with you, the election was stolen. It was a combination of that, and some people was not ready, to embrace the idea of having the first female president of the United States. Because my theory is this: if you have a lady in Mexico, this first lady that's already president and she's already powerful, you know what I'm talking about. Why can't we have Kamala? And she's an assistant prosecutor and she's educated.
No, I agree. I was talking to a Trump-la-fuck, and they had the audacity. I said, why didn't you vote for Kamala? She goes, well, she doesn't have any experience. I go, wait, what?
Excuse me?
She was a prosecutor. She was an AG. She was a senator. She was a vice president.
Hello?
And Donald Trump was a shitty pantsed reality show guy who has more experience there.
34-time convicted mass manipulator lying type motherfucker, okay?
Oh, and pedophile.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, did you see Social Bev's comment? She says she would like to see Kamala as the Attorney General. I think that would be fire.
No,
that would be good.
President.
You know what pisses me off? You know what really pisses me off? I get tired of these Trump-la-fucks. They're saying, oh, Kamala slept her way to the top. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking dense?
Well, it's because they did that themselves. It's always projection.
Yeah, she ran for Attorney General of her state and won it. And then she was a local prosecutor, ran for Attorney General, won a statewide election for Senate, You don't. What did she fuck everyone in fucking California? Get the fuck out of here with that. I get so mad when I fucking hear it.
Get him, man!
It's so fucking stupid. They're brainless motherfuckers. Really. I mean, oh yeah, she slept her way to the top. No fucking way.
But you know what, TJ, just like I said before, the reality is the Trumpler fucks, they was not ready for the first black female president of the United States of America.
Yeah,
and that's what you need to understand. This is the United States of America.
Yeah, but see, it's not the Trumpler fucks weren't ready for it's that the Democrats weren't ready for it.
Which one?
Well, I could tell you, my brother said he was not voting for a woman, and I haven't spoken to him since. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that out there.
Good for you.
Well, and there was a lot of people that said that, well, there was no primary. Why she's being forced upon us? And I'm seeing that from both sides, left and right. And I come back with the same comment every single time. If instead of stepping out of the race the day he did, what if Joe Biden had passed away that day and she finished his term as president and she ran in his place, would you have said the same thing? And I always get no response. I get crickets because the answer is always, of course you would. That's the natural order. She was the next in line because she was the VP. It wasn't like you were dealing with 2016 or 2020 and Joe Biden was the front runner and then decided to step away. And they said, well, after the primaries, we're going to run Hillary and that's who's going to be on the ticket now. No, she was the sitting vice president. When the president said he wasn't running, you run the VP, especially that late in the race.
Here's what I know about Trump-la-fucks and people in general. They will justify their choices on something better than their real feelings. They didn't like her because she was black or because she was a woman or whatever fucking reason. And they say, well, she doesn't have experience. She slept her way to the top. She did this. They always have a justification because they won't address the real issue. And that's one of the biggest concerns I have about this country. I felt like the November 5th election, she lost when she should have won. All common sense told you she should have won was because she was a black woman. And I'll be honest with you, I think it had more to do with her being a woman than being black.
And even Donald Trump and Elon Musk, though, once the day, I think it was the inauguration, they both admitted, though, that they rigged that election. I'm going, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I was so, you tell me, they really pissed me off.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm going to pull somebody else up here because we got at least a couple other people to get. This is Shell in Los Angeles.
Hey, Shell.
Hey, how you doing? What's on your mind?
Shell. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
I just wanted to say hi. I'm on break. I can't talk, but I did want to say hi and cheer you guys on. I'm doing Shakira at SoFi Stadium.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing what?
Shakira.
Oh, Shakira.
Remember? Yeah, I'm a stagehand. So right now we're unloading trucks, and she's got 27 trucks.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen her fairly up close?
Yes.
Can you tell whether or not it's true that her hips don't lie?
They certainly don't. They're not lying to me. All right, everybody's going back. You guys have a safe night and keep up the good fight.
Hey, Shell, pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
I'll tell you what, JD Vance's eyeliner definitely does lie.
Yeah.
Oh, please talk about cupcake.
I'd like to be in a press conference and ask JD a question like, what's your favorite furniture brand? And how do you feel about Barcalounger? Just to fuck with his head.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could be in a press conference and ask some stupid questions like that. I mean, do you remember Howard Stern?
Yeah.
Remember Howard Stern? Howard Stern sent Stuttering John out to a press conference where the Dalai Lama was giving a talk. And I have a lot of respect for the Dalai Lama. I like the things he said. I'm not Buddhist, but I like Dalai Lama. Stuttering John stands up and he's picked to ask the questions. He says, sir, when people meet you for the first time, do they say, hello, Dolly? It's just fucking stupid, but I laugh my ass off at that. To do that in that situation, I want to be that guy who asks obnoxious, ignorant questions.
Hey, Mike, can I say this real quick? And I know this is not the end of your live, but I want to thank you I want to thank you for coming live today, because when I saw you earlier today, when you made your video and said you were going live, and I responded and say, hey, I'll be there, sir. I was at a point where I was fuming. And then when I saw that, I'm like, thank you. And now I feel so much better, because it was so much shit. Like information through a fire hose today, and I didn't know where to put the energy. You know what I mean? So thank you.
Well, exactly. I mean, when I came out here immediately after, I was pissed off too, not because of the politics and the news, because I'm used to that over this. I don't get too emotional about this. I was dealing with some folks over on Spotify, and they're fucking with me. And I've been in computer chats for literally 3 hours, and it fucking pisses me off. And I got to tell you, Spotify, you don't fix what you got going here. You don't fix. I'm going to do a little ad for you on TikTok with 470,000 followers. Then I bet I get your fucking attention. So anyway. I mean, it's got to be worth something. They don't pay enough. You got to use your clout sometimes, or at least the threat
I heard
using
that.
your clout.
Can I do a quick PSA real quick, Mike?
That'll be $20, but go ahead.
You want me to cash that to you?
Yeah, I'm taking all the contributions from Mike. Send it to me.
Nah.
Yeah, right, T, right. Only thing I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, that's in the chat. Well, I think you guys in the panel will know what I'm about to say. Make sure that you subscribe and check out my new show on YouTube and Instagram, The Political Discussion. I'm putting out a lot of content, every single day. My goal is by September, my birthday, September 30th, I want to have 1,000 subscribers. I don't know what the future of TikTok is going to be, but check me out on YouTube, The Political Discussion. Now back to the show.
Really quick, this is something that I wanted to say earlier. Do you think J.D. Vance plays Fuck, Marry, Kill with couch brands?
Ooh. Probably.
Oh, no!
And I just want to get this one out too. I think my granddaughter's going to have a lemonade stand, and I want to get all you motherfuckers out there, because she needs the money for more stuffies. So I'll get you the address when. I'm kidding. No. You know what? Every time I see a kid with a lemonade stand, I always stop. I say, how much for the lemonade? He says $1. I'll take the lemonade. I give him $5 because I just like the entrepreneurial spirit. I want the kid. Nobody stops for these guys, so I want to make sure the kid experiences one sale at least, and a good sale, and somebody who doesn't talk shit or complain about the lemonade or whatever. I mean, I don't even care that you get a kid who pours the lemonade and there's a bug in the lemonade. He sticks his whole hand in the lemonade and pulls the bug out. I'm cool. I've drank worse shit than that.
I heard Donald Trump likes lemonade in Russia.
There's a tape of it, I guess.
I heard
hopefully we'll get to see that.
Donald Trump drinking lemonade in Russia.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to pull in the. We're coming to the end here, and all of you that didn't get on, I apologize. We are going to. I'm going to do another one here in the next couple of days, God willing, and if Rebecca and TJ are available, and everybody else. But I'm going to do one more, the show ender. Sometimes in more ways than one.
Oh, British John.
Oh no.
British John.
Oh, hell. The man is
British John. I feel like every time you come on, I should have some sound effect that goes, because we don't know where the fuck it's going to go.
Actually make that.
I know where it's going to go. I've been through it.
TikTok shop.
What's up, British John?
Before we begin, Jay, say hi to your mom for me. Okay, so if you're not aware, the way I paid my bills for many years, I was a British military intelligence hacker. So I've been busy, and I have the list. So
You have the list?
I have the list. I'm gonna say
Grocery list?
it has changed. Yeah, carrots, cucumbers,
List?
broccoli.
He fucking with us.
She was very
Oh
specific.
no,
That
you did not just no. Come on,
He
man.
fucking with us.
she wanted the little pre-peeled carrots for my kid's snack pack.
Yeah.
It has to
We-
be those ones. It's the
John,
only
we got
thing.
six.
It's not
we
the
got-
only.
we
It's
got
not
six-
the only. So go on.
We got 6 other people on this panel, and they're all surprised that you're fucking with us. What the hell is wrong with these people? I expect to be fucked with when British John comes on. I count on it.
I thought the
I
joke
gotta
was going to be
say, I'm
different.
not surprised, and I'm not surprised that British John hasn't drugged Jay yet.
Yeah, neither.
No,
Well, we got
no,
time.
TJ. I started by dragging Jay. I said hi to his mom. We started that.
You did.
Okay.
Oh hell!
We
Not
weren't-
even in it, and it's already we're off the rails.
Yeah, no, I found the shopping list, and it's interesting because it's the only time we want to have something small and orange in this house. A little baby, there's little baby peeled carrots. If you notice in South Park.
Yeah.
You have those in your salad, British John.
Oh no, man, I only have the big ones. I went to an all boys school, and now I'm doing with them.
Oh wow.
Now, John, I want you to understand something. If they shut me down now, I don't have a podcast for tomorrow. So tread lightly.
Oh,
Let's talk about numbers. Let's talk seriously. Donald Trump actually, made his career on real estate, as everybody
Right.
knows. He's always had an ego issue. He wanted Trump Tower to be bigger than the Chrysler Building, which obviously wasn't physically possible. So he wanted to be able to advertise that he had more floors. What he did is he rearranged the floor numbering. If you go to the elevators at Trump Tower, by the way, this is true, you can go there, you will notice there are entire numbers missing. So it goes from 12 to 20. Donald Trump has never had anything to do with teenagers. Never. It's just not. Just not.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's not something he's felt comfortable, and he's never had to. These are interesting times. I want to say, I haven't been on your show on this for at least 2
Yeah,
months. I think because
It's been a
So-
while. I thought I hurt your feelings, and I was cool with it.
no,
Is that why he went after me that one time?
I'm sorry, I'm British. Could you please tell me what a feeling is? I am not aware.
There you go. I got you.
That sounds like weakness to me.
Yeah.
It goes right along with dental hygiene, I think.
I mean, hey,
yeah.
These teeth, much like my wife, were expensive. So being serious, I will potentially become an American citizen in 13 days.
Good for you, John.
Good for you. Congratulations.
I have to appreciate that on Thursday the 14th I will be 20% dumber, but I at a minimum, I mean that's the best case scenario. I'm not sure if I'll still let my electric cars. I may have to get a truck, but
You gotta get a
I'm gonna.
truck.
I've been thinking about this, and so I have. If you don't, I have a huge love for California. I always have. I have what we used to call Asperger's, atypical Asperger's. So I do the crazy stuff with numbers in my head. I'm a hacker. I'm well known in the real world, and I do stand up comedy, and that's because of my autism. And this state, not just this country, this state welcomed me more than anywhere else. Back home, I was a problem, and but here, and so I there's a poem. It's written by a guy called I think it was Steve Moore. It has this wonderful line in it: California is the United States, only more so. And I every time the Republican, anytime the red hats drag on California, I am grateful, because we don't want you visiting. Okay, we're
Right.
fine
Yeah, no,
without
fuck
you
you
here.
guys.
We're good. We're absolutely good. But I will consider, and I don't. Please don't think I'm being disrespectful here. This is what I'm being very serious. I'm going to consider myself, as I identify myself as is the Californian thing. I will identify as Californian. I believe that holds more value at this point. I believe the values of California are uncompromised. Um, if anyone asks me my pronouns, I'll still say transatlantic, because, that's a great joke.
Yeah.
But and can I thank you? Sorry, so I did a show. I did shows this weekend. I did my first comedy shows in all year, actually, in San Diego this weekend. And there was one person who knew me from here that came to
Really?
say hi after the show. Yeah. So hi,
Wow.
Maria, if you're here, Maria. I can't remember if it was Maria or Maria, because you had a heavy accent. So that was awesome. Um,
That is awesome.
which is very nice. Let me keep being serious for a moment. I put a TikTok out today. Some of you are probably familiar with the Unhinged Rancher. I find his content very funny. The way he talks about his cows and they're getting stuck in the water. It's fantastic comic relief. But some people have been going after him recently. He is on the right, by the way, as are a lot of farmers. But a lot of people have been going after him because farmers are getting welfare and all this kind of stuff. And so I put it's a longer TikTok than I normally do today, actually talking about the fact that farmers aren't the problem, and the people on any government subsistence aren't the problem. The problem is that Walmart, Amazon, Dollar General, other major employers, when they do your onboarding, when they do your can't think of the word now, when they onboard you, they give you a pamphlet on how to get government assistance.
Wow.
We are using government welfare and assistance programs to subsidize employers so they can keep their margins up and their payroll thinner. And yet we're being told these are the bad people that are claiming it. That the people aren't the one. Don't get me wrong, there's scroungers and the wastrels, yet they exist. Don't get me wrong, okay? I have a brother. But I guess. But the biggest welfare queens is corporate America. It's the
Absolutely.
fact that they're using those welfare programs to keep their employees on the bottom. Farmers, equally so. The farmers get a certain amount. So here's the thing. Most small farms only received last year $7,300 in subsidy payments. Okay. That is outside of crop insurance. By the way, I can speak about this because, and I talked to because we own a big chunk of land in Sedgwick County on the Colorado-Nebraska border. We own most of that. My wife's family does. It's all arable. Crop insurance is sometimes we just farm the crop insurance. Right? If we get hail in May, we're farming the crop insurance. Right now, wheat is down to 4.43 a bushel. Last
Wow.
year it was 6. The year before it was 9. We don't get to choose the price. The price is set by the market, and it's the same with. I said to this Mr. Rancher, he doesn't get to set the price for his cattle unless he sells them himself. It's just that 4 companies own 85% of the meatpacking of the slaughterhouse and meatpacking business. They are collecting on the subsidy. So I encourage you. There's no jokes here. Go watch the video. It's the last one I put up. Don't worry, tomorrow's video is already ready, and it's stupid and ridiculous, and it's about being old and getting injured while you sleep on a bed. But today we're just doing serious. Donald Trump. Let's just talk about the European trade deal that he has just secured. Let me talk to you about some numbers, boys and girls. Okay. So right now we have steel tariffs. So if you import steel or copper or aluminum, we'll use your word. Okay, remember, English is your national language. Forget how badly you use it. We'll say aluminum for now. Right now, that has tariffs of between 30 and 40%. Now, I don't know if you know this, but they're not making cars out of balsa wood these days. And here's the thing, when they put the tariffs on foreign imports, well, guess what? The local market prices all went up by between, ready for it, 30 and 40%, because who's going to leave that kind of money on the table? Okay.
Nobody, yeah.
So here's the crazy thing, we have those steel tariffs. So if you're Volkswagen and you're building cars, and they do, down in Georgia, okay, my car came from there, and my little VW ID4 came from there. Right now, to manufacture it for the raw product, you are paying a lot more for the steel and aluminum because of that 30% to 30 to 50% tariff, depending on what metal you're using. Here's the thing, Donald's great big deal. If Volkswagen make that car in Germany, okay, where they don't have to pay tariffs on the raw goods that go into it, and their people build it, and their green subsidies go into it, and all this, and then they put it on a ship and they send it here, we will pay a tariff of 15% on the import price. Just think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have just told both Europe, and by the way, this is the same deal he did with Japan, you can send us as many cars as you want, and you'll only pay 15% on the total imported value, as opposed to paying 30 to 50% on the raw materials that go into it and build them here.
Well,
so if you are a member of the AW Union and you voted for Donald Trump, maybe you should have stayed in school a little bit longer, you dickheads.
Well, John.
Yeah, no shit.
John, I can take that another step further. And it goes along with the price of metals, particularly the tariffs on copper. And people probably don't know this or are aware of this, but copper is a big deal in my industry, and I work in construction, and particularly with hospital systems, because all the medical gas systems in a hospital for patients, the oxygen that they breathe, the nitrous oxide, instrument air, vacuum, all those things all that piping that goes into the hospitals is all done with copper piping. And it's a specialized skill to install those things. So when the tariffs have increased the price of copper, the price of the remodels and construction in the hospitals has gone astronomically higher. Guess who's going to pay for all that in the long term?
No, we all will, and we'll all pay for it in higher taxes, in higher medical bills, and higher. We all will. Let me get on to another element of this fantastic bill. So Europe, the EU, is going to buy over the next 10 years $750 billion. $750 billion of energy in the form of LNG, liquid gas, from America. That is fantastic. I want to say, Mr. Trump, well done. You negotiated a great deal. Fantastic. So we read the headlines. Just fantastic stuff. Minor point. The deal isn't with the EU. It's only with countries within the EU that have a contract with America, of which there are not many. And by the way, the price is variable depending on what the OPEC price is at the time, and also the cost of transportation, which America will be paying for. America will pay for the transportation. By the way, if you're trying to work out why we want to export gas, it's because gas is very cheap in America relative to the global market. And the more that America puts into the global market, the higher the price will go. It's why we export oil. It's why Canada sends oil to China on a boat as opposed to a pipeline to us, because it's worth more and it will drive up the price. Here's the crazy thing. That deal represents 75% of all future and predicted LNG capacity over the next 10 years. Fantastic, great deal. Minor point. Japan's trade deal had them buying 40% of it. Now, for all you're American, so I guess math isn't really what's expected of you. But if you add 75 to 40, it's more than 100. You don't need the exact number. He's now sold off more. Not only that, but he's about to announce his trade deal with India. And guess what? India's going to be buying our LNG. So I'm not sure. He is literally running a Ponzi scheme on gas. He is full of
Absolutely.
hot air. It is absolute. There is no chance that these things will actually come to
I
fruition.
mean, hire a criminal, expect to get crimed on, right?
Yeah, Mr. Global had a great video on that exact thing today, and he broke it down to the like
Yeah.
percentage.
He broke
and
it
was
down to
great.
the cubic foot. He broke it down to
Yes.
the cubic foot. He really did. So the reason you need to know about this deal, here's the thing. Remember when I said about the fact that we export it to raise the price? Do you want to guess which price they use as the input price for the cost of electricity generation? They're not using the
What's
price
that?
out of the ground. They're using the price on the global market. That's why we're exporting it, so that. Do you remember the people that donated a lot of money to Donald Trump? They have things called wells that produce gas.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do they get a return on their investment? By selling gas at a global price in the American market without the need to pay the transportation costs. Welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
People don't realize that we don't even have the pipeline infrastructure to move that amount of gas. We can't even do it. It's not possible for what Donald
The
Trump
only
is.
way, sorry, TJ, the only way to move that amount of gas efficiently is Jay's mom.
Oh my
You
Wow.
God.
just had to do that, didn't you?
Oh my God.
You had to go there.
Yeah, so what Donald Trump did with the EU and Japan was the equivalent of selling the Brooklyn Bridge, something he can't deliver.
Yep. And furthermore, on top of that, is that a lot of the power plants, and I'm taking nuclear out of this because nuclear hasn't changed significantly in the last 40 years. But when the power plants that we used to have, and we have a number of them in Pennsylvania, a lot of them were coal burners. And some of those, in fact, there's one right now that's getting a retrofit. They've all been retrofit to burn natural gas to produce steam to produce electricity on a cogen. So
Right.
now with this whole deal, this bullshit deal of selling off all of our natural gas, it's going to drive up the price of electricity for all consumers. We're already feeling it. And it's only going to get worse.
Well, TJ, don't forget about
by
the
50% in 6 months.
right. Don't forget about the data center, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
now let me come on to the data. The data center is interesting. So as we're talking right now, I my role has the job I do, my day job has changed slightly, and so I spend about 50% of my time creating AI systems now, and it's great fun. I'm really enjoying it.
He makes AI images of Jay's mom.
Why would I need to do that? I've got a photograph book full of those pictures. Okay, I have the original magazines. And they're in good condition. Every page is laminated. Just saying. Anyway, you can't get an iPad wet. Just saying. It avoids the warranty. But the I was trying to be serious. Okay. Oh yeah, the other side of the EU, so the other trade agreement. So this is fantastic. Okay, so Europe is going to open its markets, okay, to American goods. Here's the thing: the EU doesn't want them. You can open the market, but that doesn't mean they'll get bought. Okay,
Right.
Europe, which has high gas prices because we pay for our really nice roads with a lot of that tax and a few other things as well, doesn't want V6s and V8s. Okay, it wants four-pot turbocharged engines. And by the way, those engines, when you do find them in this country, are usually made in Europe or the UK. Ford has a whole plant outside Dagenham just making four-pot. The four-pot turbo engine that you find in the F-150s are made in the UK. There's no way with the current politics that we're going to buy more. You know, we're going to buy Scottish whiskey to help Jules's family out, not Kentucky whiskey.
Right.
You can't change. Unfortunately, he has done so much damage to the brand of America. It will take half a generation at least to recover from that. The AI thing is crazy. So one of the things that is happening in AI, and just feel free to Google this, boys and girls. Look for a company called Bloom Energy. That's Bloom. They're actually based just down the road from me here. They are making high energy catalyst systems, which use a mixture of hydrogen and platinum to create energy. And the current thinking is most of these AI data centers are going to be powered by the likes of Bloom Energy, because we literally just cannot bring enough capacity online to service them. We do not have an excess amount of energy. And where we do have an excess amount of energy, we don't have the transmission to put it where it's needed.
Nope.
Because, one of these things about data centers is they consume a lot of water, which means you can't put them in a lot of the country where we don't have a lot of water. You can't build one in California these days. Wouldn't be allowed. So, it's just one of those things.
Well, John, are you familiar with 3 Mile Island?
You're not going to believe this. The first piece of work I ever did when I worked for NTT, I did a vulnerability assessment. I actually hacked 3 Mile Island to find out their vulnerability exposure. True story. The first piece of work I did for them must be 9 years ago. Yeah, I know it very well. I know its network intimately.
So 3 Mile Island is a nuclear power plant, and it's in the center of the state. It's actually right outside the capital. And so they shut down the reactor semi-recently, and Microsoft has bought 3 Mile Island. And they restarted the reactor. And the whole point of them restarting that reactor is not power generation for Pennsylvania. It's power generation for data center. Yeah. So the none of the power from that, I think it's like 100 megawatts. It's like it's a big station. I mean, one of the reactors is destroyed, obviously, but the other reactor, none of that power is going to be used to generate electricity for homes. It's only for the data center. Microsoft solely owns it. So now
they have a contract on the energy. They haven't taken ownership of the building. They have a contract on the energy produced.
Right. Well, it's the same thing. I mean,
those lawyers would argue it's very different from a liability point of view. When it goes bang, Microsoft didn't do that. Okay, it wasn't an Xbox game come to life.
Understood that they're not responsible to operate the plant, but they are the owners of the power. So they're basically using that just for data, and it's not going to help anyone as a consumer on their energy prices. And that's going to be a repetitious thing throughout the whole country as these data centers pop up, is that they're going to have power stations that are taken over that are not going to produce electricity, again, driving up the cost for the consumer.
Right. So can I tell you guys a quick story how this data center thing is affecting me personally?
Sure.
So if you've seen the videos or photos that I post, with my backyard and the cornfields and the soybean fields and all of that, that was the reason why we purchased our home, because we were told that no one would ever build back there. And so we signed the paper and we bought the house. Long story short, a year and a half after we bought it, AEP, which is American Electric Power, had to fuel the new data centers that are in New Carlisle. So they put these huge honking towers in our backyard. There's like 8 or 9 utility poles back there. Our energy bill went up, and our property value went down because of those. Right? Well, let me rephrase it. Our property value went up, but in order to sell it, it goes down. So we were told that we have to fill out an appeal for quote unquote diminished value because of those utility poles that were not supposed to be there. But they're there because they're feeding the electricity to these new data centers they have in New Carlisle, Indiana, which is 5 minutes from here. So I just lost 50, 60 grand on my home because they put those 2 stupid poles back there.
I hate that this happened to you, boys. I really do. Please accept everybody else. AI is happening. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not going to stop. Whilst I'm building these AI models, I'm also training my replacement. I'm going to be lucky if I retire out of this. But the reason I say that is because where I focus my attention isn't on me. It's on my daughter. It's what world are we going to, what careers are they going to have? Look at what Sam Altman's been saying recently about, the retiring of huge parts of the economy, because those jobs are being automated. I'll leave you with this, and then I've got to drop in. This will be mildly amusing and/or caustic. Since we last spoke, I have lost somewhere in the region of 42.5 pounds. That's why my
You
face
did.
isn't
You look
fully.
great.
I did, yeah. It's crazy. I would like to say it's through hard work. It's not. It's through medication. Shout out to Zepbound, and my 12.5 milligram friends out there. How you doing? No, it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I have a full setup. This is my office. I have my 3-screen setup. I also have a treadmill down here. I am now, while writing, I've written 4 white papers today and a marketing overview deck while doing 2 5K walks in sub 90 minutes while typing and dictating.
I wanted to say that you really do look amazing.
I mean, Jay's mom gave me so many compliments, but that's very kind of you, Rebecca.
Never miss an opportunity, do you?
Don't worry, Jay's mom. I haven't lost weight where it matters. Still a big hammer on the nail. So it's but one of
he
the
was
things
like this all evening. That one time he was on Trucker T's live.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
no, it was worse.
Mr. Trump has said that he's going to reduce the price of medication by 2,500%, which is great. That means you'll be paid to take rugs, which is basically every young person's dream. And if you're familiar with garden gummies, hell yeah. Here's the thing. I do think we have an opportunity to lower the cost of medication. Yeah, and I'm just using the GLP ones that I'm on. There is a huge amount of demand for them. One of the things about these medications is they suppress your appetite, and they also mean you don't do things you used to be. So if you're a Colombian pharmaceutical company, I know a fantastic market you should get into right now. It's entirely legal, and you can charge more. We're paying my insurance company is paying $500 for 12.5 milligrams, not grams, milligrams of this stuff. Think of the markup. Mr. Chapo, this is a fantastic opportunity for you. You really should think about investing.
Absolutely. I got to tell you,
the stuff he used to make is what used to make you skinny in the 80s. Just saying.
Yeah.
I tell
John,
you what. Sorry.
Hurry up. We're getting real long here.
John, I'd said earlier to much to the amusement of the group that I was wondering if JD Vance plays Fuck, Marry, Kill with sofas. I was wondering what your thoughts on that were.
Well, look at the time. Look at the time.
Answer that. I have a clean answer to that, Rational. I have a clean answer to that. He'd simply say, "See you in court." Sale started in 2 weeks.
Well, thanks, Jay. That was worth the wait. Anyway, I'm going to get going here. I'm going too long anyway, and it'll be impossible to download and all that shit. And my night has been fucked up by the internet already. So thank you all for joining. Thank all the people who joined in and from the audience as well. I hope you have a great day, great night, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Mike.
Sounds good.